welcome back to another edition, the Sicilian edition of Boozing with Jude. So, St. Patrick's Day was this week and we did green drinks. But a day that's near and dear to my heart, 2 days later, the 19th of March, is St. Joseph Day. Yeah, it's a big deal in a lot of different places. In Sicily, big festivals. And in places where Sicilians came to America and settled, namely New Orleans, big festival. So in New Orleans on St. Patrick's Day on the 17th, of course they have parades. They didn't this year because, we're all staying at home and trying to be safe. But normally they have parades and they throw things like cabbage and they throw things like carrots and potatoes off the floats, as well as like beads and the typical Mardi Gras stuff you get. And then 2 days later on St. Joseph Day, all the Italian Americans, they wear red to honor St. Joseph, red and gold. The men dress up in tuxedos and they walk through the streets and they hand out beads, red, white, and green, of course, or paper flowers and real Italian kisses. So my cousins used to do that. You get a kiss, you get a flower, that kind of thing. And to celebrate St. Joseph Day. And the other thing that they do, it's amazing. It's amazing. They do the St. Joseph altar or the St. Joseph table. So many Italian churches, Sicilian churches specifically, even in private homes, what they do is they make all this food and they display it in the most beautiful, incredible ways. And they make something called pan di San Giuseppe, which is the bread of St. Joseph. And it's sculpture. It's beautiful. It's artwork. It could be braided. It could be in the shapes of crosses or fishes or St. Joseph, actually. It's amazing artwork. And then they'll usually have there's almost always a lamb cake, a cake shaped like a lamb, and there might be a big fish to represent Jesus with like 12 shrimp or prawns around it to represent, the disciples. And then they'll have almost always cucci dati, which are, man, I love them, the Italian fig cookies, or they'll have pignolata, which are the like Italian honey ball. I think they call them strufala in Napoli, but in Sicily they're called pignolata. And so they have all these Italian goods and almost always the fava bean. Now, why the big thing for St. Joseph Day for Italians? Well, first of all, St. Joseph is the patron saint of Sicily. And rumor has it, legend has it, I'd like to think it's true. Not that there was a drought, but back in the Middle Ages, sometime, there was a drought, a big drought. And of course, they would pray for St. Joseph's intercession to end the drought because, no crops, no food. And the one thing that did grow up through the dry cracks of the earth was a fava bean. So the fava bean is very healthy, or a very hardy bean. And so St. Joseph altar, you're always going to see the fava bean, almost always. And, it signals good luck. So some people actually carry them in their pocket. So you always see the fava bean. So that's the St. Joseph altar. It's an amazing thing to do. And if you live in a community that has a lot of Sicilians, in New Orleans, turn of the century, meaning the end of the 1800s, beginning of the 1900s, they all settled in the lower part of the French Quarter. It was called Little Palermo. I mean, we associate it with like Creole, folks, and it's called the French Quarter. We associate it with the French, we associate it with the Spanish, but at one point it was just loaded with Sicilians. And so St. Joseph altar, big deal. Sadly, no parade this year, no kisses, but is there a drink? So I thought, we got to have a drink for this day. I actually looked, Max is shaking and heading in to take a nap. I actually looked online because I thought maybe there already is a drink, and there is, so I'm not going to steal it. I'm going to give this guy credit. And his name is Serjun Elasso. I hope I'm saying that right. He's a bartender at a place called the Spotted Owl, which of all places is near Cleveland, Ohio. It's in Tremont, Ohio. So he created a drink called the St. Joseph, and he talked about this history of Italians, and I thought, great, I tried it. I like it. Now, will you like it? I don't know. It depends. It has 3 amati, so 3 amaro in it, and then it's sort of rounded out with Jerez sherry, Spanish sherry, particularly one called Pedro Jimenez sherry. And that's a very, very dolce, or dulce, as we'd say in Spanish, very, very sweet sherry. Now, normally I don't like sweet things, but I will tell you this. When I was living in London, not that I'm bragging, you're going to hear Max now, she went and got her deer antler and she's chewing on it. She wants to be in these videos one way or another. Anyway, so when I was living in London, not that I'm bragging, after church every Sunday, I'd go across the street to a Spanish, it was a Spanish restaurant, and I would have some tapas. And at the end of it, I would order just a little neat shot of Pedro Ximénez sherry. It's sweet, it's thick, it's jammy, it's syrupy, and oddly, I loved it. I loved it at the end of a meal. Just this much, neat, you know, not like big guzzle down, because, you know, after a while, but it was a great aperitivo, or a great digestivo. Is this drink a digestivo? Is this drink an aperitivo? I don't know. I would say, for me, digestivo. It's got the 3 Amati in it. It's got the Jerez. I would say maybe an after dinner drink. So I'm going to show you how to make it. It's a piece of cake, and I'll let you know what I think. I've already tried it. So the Yamato that we're going to put in, we'll start with the light one. So Aperol. If you remember Aperol Spritz, it is probably the lightest of all things that we would call Amato, and I don't even see it as a bitter, but there you go. So you got that lovely red color, and then we're gonna go with our Sicilian Averna. Averna is a Sicilian Amaro, so that's our sort of ode to Saint Joseph, and again, a very thick, dark, lovely, bitter. So half an ounce of each of those. Everything's a half an ounce. It's sort of like a Negroni. You know, same measurements all the way across. Then if you remember the Cynar is from northern Italy. It's the one that is made with artichoke in it, but you can't really taste the artichoke. I love this. This was, I found out, was a good digestivo actually when I was having stomach problems. I was drinking, in that drink called the Bitter Giuseppe. If you remember the Bitter Giuseppe, loved that drink. So Cynar is used there, and it's used here, and it's also on my table and all over my hands because I over poured. And then the sherry. So Pedro Ximénez. It says on here somewhere, muy dulce or molto dolce, very sweet, and it is really good, folks. It's really, really a good sherry. If you like, you know, even if you don't, I mean, I don't like dry sherry. Period. I don't like sherry by and large, but this is a fun thing to drink. So you're going to stir this. We're going to put a lot of ice in here, in our pitcher. And we're going to stir it a good long time because these are pretty thick. The 4 of them actually are pretty thick. The only one that's not really thick, the Aperol, is not too thick. But we want to get it a little diluted. We don't want to water it down. We want to dilute it a bit. So give it a good stir. I'm not like a bartender. They do it really cool, but I'm not always that good with it. I'm spilling it all over, splashing it all over, spoons turning around. You're looking for a wash line to go up a little bit. So you don't want to water it down so you're like, ooh, it's just watery. But you do want to see that the ice dilutes a little bit in it. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then I'm going to take my Nick and Nora glass, which is too big, but still, we'll use it for this. And just take your julep strainer and pour her in. Keep the ice in there, and he said it should pour like silk, and it kind of pours like silk. It's beautiful. Okay, now here's the key. This is what's going to be like horrific and embarrassing. I'm going to try to drop a thing on the ground. I'm going to try to do a little lemon garnish. There's no lemon in here, but Sicily is just loaded with lemons. And here's the thing. So rumor has it, or legend has it, or the story goes that if a single woman visits a St. Joseph altar and steals a lemon from the table and puts it in her pocket, that she'll be married by the next feast of St. Joseph, so the next year. Now, I can tell you, I had lemons rotting away in my pocket. I'm still a single woman. So just saying, it doesn't work. At least it didn't for me. So I'm just going to cut this kind of thin. I told you I do my garnishes in front of you, and I'm really nervous because I don't know. I'm not really good with garnishes. I wish I was, because, it kind of makes the drink sometimes, doesn't it? And, I don't know. We'll just kind of wrap it around my spoon a little bit and curl it up. This is like something I'm making up right now. Just because I think it should have a garnish. Okay, and I just broke it. So yeah, that's good. I don't think you should squeeze like lemon oil or lemon zest in there because I don't. Okay, well that broke. We're going to be editing this part out. Let's just do a real thin one and not try to, you know, why is it breaking? Okay, so that's a little bit longer and it's a little bit thinner. So now let's see if we can cut it and curl it. You know, this drink's going to be warm by the time I get to it, but hey, you know. So the cool thing though is that I actually was excited to see somebody actually, you know, had created a drink for our beloved St. Joseph. Isn't that neat? Because, you know, St. Patrick gets all the love. And, you know, I love St. Patrick, but, you know, St. Joseph is awesome. Do you know, just a little trivia, St. Joseph never speaks throughout the whole of the New Testament. He doesn't speak in the Old Testament because he's not there, but he doesn't speak at all. Just saying. So there's not one word. Pretty important guy, never says a word. So remember the film The Quiet Man with John Wayne that was filmed in Ireland? Well, St. Joseph is a real quiet man. Never said a word. The perfect husband. Okay, well there we go, folks. Well, that's just horrible. Anyways, forget that. We'll fix that up and there will be a really good picture in there. So here we go. The St. Joseph. Salute. Okay, now, not for everybody, but it is like a herbal, but that sherry, that sweetness really makes this a great drink. So it is very herbal, and you're getting like, I love the Aperol in there because it does lighten it a little bit, but it's a special drink. This is a special drink for a special saint and a special day. So guys, you know, if you want to celebrate St. Joseph's Day 2 days after, you know, you'll have enough time to recover from your green drinks. Try the St. Joseph, and thanks to our bartender, Sir June Olassel, I think, for making this one up. So we'll see you next time. Hopefully, I'm going to start pre-making my garnishes again because that was just embarrassing. So you guys have a good one. Salute, happy St. Joseph's Day, and thanks for joining me.